Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, I want to show you how you can be getting around 30 million XP per hour here in Season 1. I've been doing this as I'm farming up to try and get to level 100 pretty efficiently with my playtime every night, and I want to walk you through some of the numbers and the thought process that goes into farming this amount of XP effectively. Let's get into it. And real quick, I want to let you know about this insanely cool Diablo 4 gaming PC that you can win for free, brought to you by Skytech Gaming Intel and made possible by the Signal RGB app, which syncs RGB devices from any brand to bring you a cohesive lighting experience. Like you see right here with the swirling potions that react to your health and resource from in Diablo 4 in real time, with a hand-painted chest that contains a 13th gen Intel and the RTX 4070 video card, making this the dream PC for any Diablo 4 player, and you can enter the giveaway via the link in the video description down below. Okay, so first of all, what you're seeing on the screen is clearing Sarat's Lair in a duo here with my good friend Veiled Shot, who is also a content creator for Diablo 4. We meet up at night and we do some grinding together, trying to find some efficient methods and testing a bunch of different areas and all that type of stuff. And I've got a recording here of a run that we did, and you can see the clock up there on the top left. That's actually popping right now. It's finishing. You can see it was around 2 minutes. I don't think it started like right at the entrance. Yeah, see, I'm already a couple seconds in coming up to the first room, but it's around 2 minutes, 2 to 2:15, somewhere in there, depending on the run that we're clearing Sarat's Lair in about that 2 to 2:30 window. So it's insanely fast. And I already did a video here on the channel talking about why Sarat's Lair is such an insane nightmare sigil and walking you through a full guide in terms of a diagram and how to clear it effectively and get XP super efficiently while you're farming this sigil. But the too long didn't watch, if you didn't see that video yet, is that it's such a good sigil because it's super simple. You come into a big room, you split in 2 different directions, you kill a couple of objectives, then you come back to the middle, you fight a boss, and you can do it in like 2 or 3 minutes. It's super consistent. It's the same every time, or close to. I mean, the locations of stuff will change a little bit, but if you get good RNG, you clear it in about 2 minutes. If you get bad RNG, you clear it in about 3 minutes, and you are just getting insane XP gains. There's really no other dungeon that even comes close to comparing to it when we're talking about XP per hour, because all those other ones, they're either huge maps, or you have a bunch of different objectives, or you need to backtrack and you need to bring something back to a pedestal or whatever. So they can be decent in terms of loot because some of them have a lot of elites in them, like Mercy's Reach. But if you're just looking for consistent XP per hour gains and just consistent nightmare dungeon farming, Sarat's Lair is where it's at least right now. So, okay, now that we know what dungeon and why we want to do it, let's talk about what level of dungeon to pick. And I want to pull this up. This is a chart that I made a little bit ago about the sigil scaling in Nightmare Dungeons. And what you're going to see is 1 through 100 for the different tiers, and then what level the mobs are going to be in that tier. And then you're going to see highlighted in green is the levels that you should optimally be speed farming when you're looking to gain XP and really ramp up to level 100 as fast as possible. And the reason it starts at level 31 is because that is going to be level 85 mobs, and that's going to be when we hit the highest tier of the loot cap. So you do want to get into grinding at least Nightmare Sigil level 31 as soon as possible. Once you're at that rank, you want to be doing a sigil that you're going to be able to speed farm and blast through. We want to complete dungeons. We don't want to take 14 minutes to clear a sigil. We want to be doing it in 2 or 3 minutes. So whatever you can speed farm, go ahead and do that. But ideally, it would be with mobs above your level. So you can see in this clip right here, we are level 78 and 80, and we are doing a sigil number 33, I believe, in this clip. So that means that the mobs are going to be about 7 to 10 levels above us, and we're getting very efficient XP because the mobs are up above us. Now, as we get stronger, when we're level 90 or so, we'll probably be doing a sigil in the lower 40s. We'll start bumping it up to 42, 43, 44 as we scale up our level. And we also did have some clears we were doing of like the upper 30s or around 40, and we were doing it pretty much about the same time, but it just kind of depends on the RNG of what sigils you're able to craft and all that. You kind of have to run with it every night and just do the best ones that you can get done. So this one that you see in this clip happened to be a 33, but later on tonight, we'll probably be doing 40s or whatever we could end up crafting. Okay, and now I want to pull up the XP calculator up there in the top middle, and this is just one that I built kind of here locally on my PC to calculate the XP per hour on different runs that I'm testing, whether it's in the open world or in World Tier 4 or Nightmare Sigils, and I want to be able to compare them against each other. I always kind of plug in these numbers when I'm starting runs, and I time them. That way I can see what kind of numbers are going on. And what you're seeing right there is an example of a Arats Lair run. You can see the clear time of 2.5 minutes. I do like to include the downtime, so it takes us about 2 minutes, but by the time we actually kind of reset and get back into the sigil, we've got a little bit of downtime there of around 30 seconds. So I like to include that, and I end up just over 30 million XP per hour because we're usually a little bit over 1 million XP in the run, and they can vary a little bit depending on if you get a cursed shrine or a cursed chest. There is an event that is insanely good in Arats Lair. So if you see the last stand event, like if you go into one of the little rooms where there is an objective for the dungeon, sometimes you'll see an event. You definitely want to check and see if it's the last stand. It's called the last stand. That's the title of the event. And that thing spawns just hundreds of mobs. It's like 600,000 XP or something. So you definitely want to do that. It's in one room, one clump, and it is a big bump to your XP. So don't always be skipping the events like the cursed chests and stuff like that. So anyway, that can be how they vary a little bit in XP per hour, but this would be kind of like a typical charting here of a Arats Lair that we are running. But what I noticed was we also tested a Champion's Demise. That was a hot spot in the preseason. And what we don't notice was because of how they changed the scaling of the mobs, now after level 75, they're always behind you in level. So you can see here that I'm level 80. So I'm going to be level 80. The mobs I'm fighting are going to be level 75. And because of that, I get a big XP penalty when I'm killing them. So what happened was we were doing Champion's Demise super fast. We were doing it in, I want to say it was like 1.5 minutes. So we put in 1.5, but I was only gaining something like 300,000 XP. So you could see there that it is only a 12 million XP per hour. So it's about 1/3 of what I was getting in Arats Lair. So obviously if we're looking for XP gains, we're going to be going with crushing through as many Arats Lair dungeon runs as we can. So yeah, that's how I am getting 30 million XP per hour right now in the start of season 1. I'm grinding Arats Lair somewhere in there in like the upper 30s, low 40s, somewhere like that, and doing it in about 2.5 minutes and getting like just over the 1.3 million XP per run and ending up there at about, it's usually between like 28 and 32 million XP per hour once I'm like level 95 and I've got a more optimized build with fully done like glyphs that are level 20 and using 5 or 6 different Paragon boards, and my gear is even more min-maxed and my level is higher. I can probably start doing like sigil 45s and still doing them equally as fast, and then the XP is going to be crazy. It's probably going to approach like 35-40 million per hour. But right now we're less than 1 week into the season. I'm loving getting 30 million XP per hour for sure. And I will obviously keep testing all of the different areas in the game. I do want to test the Tree of Whispers and see how it compares. I don't think it's going to be Arats Lair, but I don't know if it's going to be like 5 million per hour or 15 million per hour, because I know they did buff that up pretty significantly, and you can get a lot of turn-ins there and get a decent amount of target farming on your loot and a decent amount of XP gains and gain some sigils and all that. So I do want to test the Tree of Whispers here pretty soon and update you on the channel here if it's worth it to run that, if you're not getting into Nightmare Dungeons yet and all of that. But I did want to first cover the way to be insanely efficient and hit that 30 million XP per hour mark here early in season 1. So that'll do it for this one. It would mean a lot to earn your sub down below if you enjoy daily Diablo 4 content, and I appreciate you. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.